Leon. You absolutely love using flashbang.
What's up guys, Mafia here, and today we're going to react to What Your Survivor Main Says About You by Nimedi Talks. Now as you know, or some of you may know, I am a killer main, but I do play a lot of Survivor. So, you know, I do have maybe like 2 people, mainly Nia is who I main. I mainly main Nia, but sometimes on Sundays I like to play some Sable Sunday. If you like to check me out on Twitch, you know, just saying, right there. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Dwight, you're either brand new to the game or have thousands and thousands of hours in DBD. There's no in between. You either chose Dwight as he's one of the few survivors available to you and you have no cosmetics at all, or you have almost every cosmetic available from Rift Cosmetics to Store Cosmetics. If you are the type of Dwight main with thousands of hours, then you also only play as Dwight and have thousands of every single item, every single add-on, and every single offering on Dwight. Meg, you're usually the worst survivor on the entire team. You don't really know what you're doing, but you'll always try your best.
I have noticed that most of the Megs I run into, some of them are like top tier, and yet some of them like they make the worst plays. I'm like, what was that? What was that, bro? So pretty accurate so far.
You will walk around the entire map if it means saving your sprint burst. After all, you can't just go and waste it. Even though you do try your best, you're usually the one who ends up throwing the games for you and your teammates. Killers absolutely love you for this reason. Claudette, self-care is your favorite perk, and no other perk in the game even comes close to self-care. You always play stealthy and you rarely ever get spotted by the killer. You're instead more than happy to watch the rest of your teammates die on hook for your chance to escape through the hatch. Jake,
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, as soon as I get done prestiging Nia, I might main Toolbox Claudette. I might main Toolbox Claudette. As soon as I get better with stealth, I'm on it, bro.
you're the jack of all trades. You'll repair generators, heal up your teammates, and have decent chases. You're typically a helpful teammate, and even though you don't really excel at anything, you're somewhat decent at everything. Nia, you absolutely love bringing flashlights. You'll never be seen without one, but you do hate doing generators.
This is like the complete opposite for me. I hate using flashlights and I'm always on a gen. I guess I'm the exception, like, cause I hate using flashlights. I suck at them, and it's like I said, as far as gens go, I'm always on them. If I'm not on a gen, it's mainly because I can't find one. I don't know all the gen spawns for some of these maps, so I'm sorry. I keep pausing. I'm sorry.
Repairing gens is just way too boring for you, and you love using the brightest outfits possible to get the killer's attention. You love being chased by the killer almost as much as you enjoy flashlight saving your teammates. You really enjoy standing out and being the center of attention. Laurie. Laurie mains seem to think they're the best survivors on the entire team, even though they're usually the worst survivors on the entire team. Decisive Strike is by far your favorite perk, and you usually opt for chasing the killers around, begging to be chased, especially after getting unhooked and Decisive Strike is active. You'll always come up with excuses every time you do get down by the killer. Either the killer's ping was too high or it was somehow your teammate's fault that you went down. You'll also never risk your life trying to save your teammate. You always make sure to escape any chance you get and see your teammates as nothing more than bait for you to escape the trial. Ace.
I might pause after every character, but anyways, you know what's weird about Laurie? Anytime I'm playing against a Laurie, they're never using Decisive Strike. Like, everyone has Decisive Strike on every character except Laurie. It's kind of weird. Same thing with Plague. Everyone has Corrupt Intervention, but no one really uses Plague. Well, I mean, they do, but like when they do use Plague, they don't have Corrupt anyway.
You love to teabag killers every single chance that you get. Every pallet stun or miss swing at a window is the perfect chance to teabag and be toxic towards the killer. You are a very experienced survivor and have thousands of hours in the game, so needless to say, you're also very good in chase. You do, however, throw the game once every so often with your poor decision making, or by handing the killer an extra down whilst trying to get a flashlight save. But despite this, you're usually one of the better survivors on the team and frequently take killers on long chases. Bill, you have no idea what you're doing and you probably don't even know what game you're currently playing. You booted up DBD thinking it was Left 4 Dead. You run into walls and miss every single skill check that comes your way. And no matter how often you play, you just never seem to improve. You do try your best, but no matter how much you try, you're always the reason for your team's downfall. You're also the first survivor killed off by the killer 90% of the time. Feng, much like Nia mains, you love...
That is true. bills are like I've run across like maybe four or five bills. I can count on a hand how many bills I've run into that actually made me chase them for a long time. Just saying.
Love bringing flashlights and hate doing generators. The Bunny Fang outfit is by far your favorite cosmetic in the entire game, and you refuse to play as any other survivor or use any other cosmetic. Even though you're somewhat similar to the Nia mains, you're just way worse at the game than the Nia mains. You consistently miss flashlight saves and often hand the killer an extra down whilst attempting to save your teammates with the flashlight. David, Dead Hard is still your favorite perk in the entire game. Despite the countless nerfs that it's received, you'll always use it in your builds. David is a survivor that's enjoyed by both brand new players and experienced players alike. You're either still learning the game or a pretty solid survivor who's a great addition to any team. Quentin is probably the least used survivor in the entire game. You're either a huge fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
No, that is not true. For some reason, I think I'm going to pronounce bro's name wrong. Yoichi? I think that's bro's name. Not Yodoichi. Yoichi? That, I feel like that is the least used character in my opinion. It's either him or like... Actually, yeah, him or Quentin, but I feel like it really is... No, wait. No, people do use Gabriel. Never mind. Yeah, I think it's Yoichi. Continue.
Or you just love being different to everyone else. You aren't bothered by the lack of cosmetics for Quentin, you still love playing him regardless. Overall, you're a decent player and have learned all of the basics for helping out your team and escaping the trial. Tap. Saw is your favorite horror franchise of all time. You absolutely love going...
Never mind, it's Tap. I can't recall to you last time I saw a Tap. Well, it's a tie between those two actually, Yoichi or Tap.
Up against the pig or playing on the Gideon meat plant map. You've seen every single Saw movie at least 10 times each, and you've played through both Saw games multiple times. You aren't really a big fan of DBD, and the only reason you do play is for the Saw license. For this reason, Detective Tap and the Pig are the only characters that you play as whilst playing Dead by Daylight. Kate, you're either the absolute best survivor on the entire team by far, or the worst survivor on the entire team by far. There's no in between. You're either the reason that your teammates die, or the reason they escape due to your extremely long chases. You also love bringing the meta survivor perks in every single game. You'll never be seen without using perks like Unbreakable, Sprint Burst, and Adrenaline. Adam, the most important thing for you is getting your safe hook rescue to activate your deliverance, even though you usually end up going on hook first so it becomes completely unusable. Even though you do love using deliverance, which is one of Adam's teachable perks, you do hate using Autodidact, and you do think Autodidact is one of the worst perks in the entire game. Jeff mains are overall decent at the game. Definitely don't expect any amazing plays or to be carried by the Jeffs, but they're definitely decent enough to hold their own in chase and be decent teammates. Jane.
Alright, we just went through like 3 characters just so far. So, I will say this. I really only have one person to comment on. Jeffs, if they know how to use... It may just be my lack of awareness, but if Jeffs really know how to use their distortion, they are literally a game changer in your match. If they actually know how to use distortion, you know, I'm telling you, they can be a game changer. And if the killer is like me, who has a very low awareness factor, then yeah.
You're amazing at the game and always take the killers on extremely long chases. You usually carry your teammates to victory no matter how bad they are at the game. Your item of choice is always a medkit and you hate playing injured, likely due to how loud of a survivor Jane is whilst injured. Killers hate seeing you in their lobby as they know just how efficient you'll be on generators, whilst also being impossible to catch in a chase. Ash is a survivor that you'll almost never see in your lobbies due to how uncommon Ash mains are. You'll always try your best and give 100% even though you're not that great at DBD, but at least you do try your best. You're still mad at the fact they nerfed Buckle Up, and you always tell everyone how you didn't think it deserved to be nerfed. But even though they nerfed it, you still try your best to use it in a build, even if it almost never works. Nancy, you absolutely love the Stranger Things franchise, and you always play in a duo with your friend who mains Steve. You love bringing flashlights and being toxic to the killer whenever you have the chance. You always try hard, but you're typically not that great at Survivor, even though you think that you're amazing.
That is typical of Nancy's. I don't think I've ever once going up against a Nancy that was trying to run me like a pro, but the chase ended up being like 30 seconds. Not once.
Anytime a teammate is being chased by the killer, you'll always be crouched nearby looking for that flashlight save. Steve, even though you...
I hate you. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. Sorry. Sorry.
Duo queue with your tryhard friend who mains Nancy, you're the complete opposite of a tryhard yourself. You just play for fun and try and meme around with the killer and with your teammates.
I said I was going to keep pausing this, but I don't know where... I don't know what... I don't know what Nancy well, I know what Nancy mains you. I don't know what Steve mains you've been running into, but the Steve mains I've been running into, they are either just as bad or more. You know what I'm saying? They're either just as bad as the Nancy, or like more when it comes to like believing that they're the best in chase. I'm just saying.
For some reason, the killer will always be using a perk that makes you scream at least 50 times per match. You don't mind this though, as it adds to your playstyle of being a bit of a memer. Yui. While some Yuis are new to the game and are really bad teammates, most Yuis are great at DBD, and most players love seeing a Yui on their team. Yuis will also be sure to reset any down pallets by using the perk any means necessary. Yui mains are also another survivor that is often toxic towards the killers, whether that's teabagging or clicking the flashlight at the killers. Many Yuis love a bit of toxicity. Zarina. Zarina mains are usually very efficient players. Their gen
Me personally, I haven't really ran into that many toxic UEs.
efficiency is second to none, and they're more than capable of taking killers on a long chase due to their extensive map knowledge and also how familiar they are with every single tile in the game. You're also a really helpful teammate and will always risk your life going in to save your teammates at the end of the game. Cheryl.
No, let me tell you about this arena mains. I'm sorry, this video is gonna be like 20 minutes long. The reaction is gonna be 20 minutes long, but let me just tell you, Zarina mains put everything on the line for their teammates, bro. They do not care. They'll use for the people right in front of the killer. They do not care. So, anytime I'm playing with a Zarina, I just know for a fact I'm most likely not going to be left on that hook for more than like 15 seconds. They are for everybody.
You're a huge fan of the Silent Hill games, especially Silent Hill 3, but hopefully you're better at the Silent Hill games than you are at DBD because you have absolutely no idea what you're doing in DBD. Despite having over 1,000 hours in the game, you get really excited anytime you play against Pyramid Head, especially if the map is also Midwich. Felix. Felix players are usually pretty good at the game, even though they're also a survivor that you rarely see. You love being different, and you love the fact that your main is one that isn't really used by many other players. You're great in chase and efficient on generators, and overall you're a survivor that other players love seeing in their lobbies. Elodie. You love playing DBD around Christmas time so you can use the green reindeer outfit. The Christmas season is your favorite time of the year, and you love showing everyone that you're in the Christmas spirit by using this outfit from November until the end of the year. You do play as other survivors throughout the rest of the year, but nothing makes you happier than playing as Elodie in the reindeer outfit during the Christmas period. Yunjin. You're a really selfish player, and you're more than happy to see all three of your teammates die so long as you escape.
I have had incidents like this. So I can't say whether this one is true or false. But I have incidents where the Yunjin gave no fucks. Even if we all escaped and there was like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. There have been times where where like I was on the hook, another teammate was on the hook, I think the third one was slugged. Killer was camping one of my teammates. Like this was before anti-camp, I believe. Killer was camping one of my teammates. I was just on the hook, death hook already most likely, and instead of healing the survivor that was on the ground, Fam opened the the gate, and just dipped. I'm like, damn. Damn, bro. He was literally camping the one survivor. Why are you? You could have at least got. I know you couldn't have got like me off the hook, right? But you could have like at least got homie off the floor, and both y'all could have left. She said, fuck all y'all. I'm good. I'm getting out of here." Which I mean, I respect it. I respect it. But I think she was only hooked like one time. But that's besides the point. Let's keep going.
You'll never be seen risking your life even in the slightest, although you are pretty good at the game overall. You also love the lore behind the Yunjin and Trickster chapter, and you also play Killer from time to time, so you can also play some games as the Trickster. Jill, you're the complete opposite to Yunjin players. Whilst Yunjin players are all about themselves, you're 100% a team player, and consistently risk your life for the safety of others. You're also a huge Resident Evil fan, with Resident Evil 3 being your favorite of all the RE games, although you much prefer the original PS1 version to the remake. Leon, you absolutely love using flashbang.
Y'all probably already heard it, but you know, I don't want to say it again.
Gonna always try your best to save your teammates with it. Too bad you're completely awful at the game and almost never manage to get the timing right for the flashbang save. Even though you love Leon, you aren't a big fan of Resident Evil, with Resident Evil 4 being the only game from the franchise that you've played. Speaking of Resident Evil 4, you absolutely love using the Resident Evil 4 outfit with the brown jacket. Michaela, you absolutely love boon totems. Even though Circular Healing got nerfed years ago, you'll never stop bringing it along with other boon totems. You find blessing a totem to be the best and by far the most fun thing to do in DBD. You also have pretty much every single Michaela cosmetic they've ever released. You're a huge fan of their...
Well, one thing about nerfs I don't understand, like, people think because a perk got nerfed, you're supposed to just stop running it. Like, dude, Adrenaline got nerfed and I still run it. Yeah, it makes it less efficient, but it doesn't make it a bad perk now that it got nerfed. Like, I don't know why people think because something gets nerfed, it's just terrible now. Like, I don't. It makes it less efficient, yeah, but doesn't make it a bad perk. Just gonna put that out there.
and refuse to play any other survivor. Jonah players are usually players that are new to the game.
Never mind. Well, I feel like Jonah is on the same level of Quentin. I have been running into a few Jonahs lately. But still, Yoichi.
So needless to say, they're also pretty bad at the game. Jonah is also another survivor that you rarely see, but anytime that you do, they'll be likely to throw the game. 30-second chases and poor gen efficiency is a common theme with the few Jonah players that you do stumble across in your lobbies. Yoichi. Much like Jonah, you're pretty rare to come across in-game, with 99% of players opting for other survivors. Despite playing as Yoichi, you've never seen any of the Ring movies and you aren't a fan of the franchise. You just think that Yoichi looks cool and you love the yellow coat that he wears. Again, much like Jonah players, you're pretty new to the game and don't really know what you're doing. Hadi, you're still mad at Behavior for the lack of cosmetics they add to DBD for your main. You also hate the likes of Nia and Dwight mains, as you just wish that one day your main would receive even half the amount of cosmetics as these survivors. You're a decent player overall, definitely nothing special, but more than good enough to have some decent chases whilst also being a good teammate for the most part. Ada,
Accurate.
You love seeing Leon players in your lobby and will follow them around the entire trial. Resident Evil 4 is by far your favorite game of all time, and Ada is also by far your favorite character from the Resident Evil series. You love bringing a flashlight and attempting to blind the killer at every single chance that you get. You're not that great at DBD though, and you're often the reason that the killer ends up winning the games. You're definitely not a survivor that other players are happy to see in their lobbies. Rebecca.
Damn, bro went in on Ada. I mean, most of that, I feel like that is correct though. When I see a Ada in my lobby, I just think, okay, she gonna be on gens. And then when I see her in Chase, I'm like, okay, she finna get down. Nah, it's always fun having Ada in the lobby though.
You love nothing more than playing against Wesker. You always remember that one time where a Wesker player let you go at the end of the game, and since then you often try to befriend Wesker players, even though this almost never works. Your favorite cosmetic is the cowgirl outfit, and you hate the other Resident Evil characters that are in DBD other than Wesker and Rebecca herself. Vittorio. You spent a ton of money on Oryx cells to buy some of the many outfits that Behavior has added to the game for Vittorio. Even though Vittorio is by far your favorite survivor, you absolutely hate the knight who was the killer added to the game alongside Vittorio. You aren't awful at DBD, but definitely not the best. You have your moments, but overall you're rarely the best survivor on the team, usually somewhere in the middle. Thalita. Much like Vittorio mains, you despise the killer that got added to the game in the same chapter as your main, as you find Skull Merchant to be a really unfun and unfair killer even after her nerf. You only have around 100 or 200 hours in the game, but despite this you are somewhat decent. Even though you do hate the Skull Merchant, you do love the other survivor that got added to the game in this chapter. Ronaldo.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think hating Skull Merchant is a universal thing at this point. Not universal, sorry, global thing at this point. I don't think that's just specific to the Litas. I think that's everyone. Everyone hates Skull Merchant for some reason. I don't know, but let's keep going.
Renato is a survivor that got added to the game at the same time as Thalita, as previously mentioned. Renato players absolutely love the perk Background Player, as it helps them on their quest for flashlight saves. You are also pretty good at getting the flashlight saves, and you always manage to find the perfect angle for it. Even though the Thalita players don't have as many hours in the game, you Renato players always seem to have thousands of hours in DBD, always getting those flashlight saves and always taking the killers on long chases.
I told you I would keep pausing. Renatos are very good in chase. I don't think I've ever met one Renato that was terrible in chase. Not one. I've yet to meet a bad Renato, so we'll see.
Gabriel. The astronaut skin is by far your favorite cosmetic in DBD. This is the only reason you even main Gabriel in the first place. You're still mad at the fact the perk made for this got nerfed. You definitely think that killers complained over nothing and that it should never have been nerfed in the first place. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage isn't your favorite actor. In fact, you've not even seen many movies starring Nicolas Cage. You aren't even sure why you main Nicolas Cage in the first place. You do love memeing around with the killers and with your teammates. You just don't take DBD too seriously at all. Plot Twist is your favorite perk and you'll always be sure to use it at the worst times possible. For example, when you're last alive and when everyone else is bleeding out on hook. You're definitely not that great at the game, but who cares? You just play for fun anyway. Ripley. You're a hardcore fan of the Alien series. You've seen every single Alien movie, including the spin-offs, and you've even played all of the Alien games. You have a huge collection of Alien collectibles that you proudly display on your shelf. It goes without saying, but Alien is also your favorite killer to play against, and you even play a lot of killer yourself just to play as the Alien. Alan.
Another character that I'm trying to think. Another character, much like Renato, that I'll hardly ever catch being a bad looper. So, props to Ellen mains and Renato mains out there.
Alan Wake. You think Champion of Light is the greatest perk in the entire game, and a flashlight is always your item of choice to get the most value out of it. You played the first Alan Wake game, but not the second one. You haven't got around to playing that one yet. You're way too busy playing Alan Wake in DBD and blinding killers whilst also making them hindered with Champion of Light. Sable. You love following the crowd and doing the exact same thing as everyone else. After all, why even have your own taste when you can just do whatever's popular? You also think that Invocation Weaving Spiders is a useful perk, and you can often be found in the basement putting this perk to use, no matter how much time is wasted by doing so. You enjoy switching up cosmetics as you have several different outfits for Sable. Overall, you throw a lot of games mostly due to being adamant about using the perk Invocation Weaving Spiders.
I don't main Sable yet. Actually, I don't know if I'll ever main Sable, but I do play, again, Sable Sunday, Twitch. Anyways. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Sable. I don't do any of that. I ain't gonna lie, I do want some of her cosmetics. She has some very good cosmetics, alright? But Invocation of Spiders, bro, or Web Spiders, whatever the fuck it's called, I do not use that shit. I really don't. Maybe if I started, like, if I was running, like, with a Swift, maybe. But realistically, it's a very time-consuming perk. They're not wrong. I mean, yeah, it reduces like 10 charges on all the gens, but within that time, you probably could have got like 1 or 2 gens done. By the time you get done even putting it, and that's if you're doing it by yourself. Yeah, if you have like everyone in the basement with you trying to do it, then yeah, it won't take a long time. But if you're doing it by yourself, that is going to take a good 2 or 3 gens. Most likely 2, but still, you get the point. I don't use it because I just don't see the point in it. I use Wicked more than anything, but the problem with Wicked is you gotta actually convince the killer to bring you to the basement, which you have to take chase around the basement, and if he finds you far away from the basement, you are going to get no use out of that perk. Just saying.
Astri and Baymar. Astri and Baymar mains love the fact that they now have a Dungeons and Dragons chapter in DBD. They're always hardcore fans of the Dungeons and Dragons franchise. Bardic Inspiration is by far your favorite perk, and you love nothing more than playing a nice song for your teammates. Whilst I've definitely seen a handful of Astri mains, I don't think I've ever seen a Baymar player, even when the chapter was first released. Lara Croft. You love playing as Lara Croft for her voice lines and her accent. Either that or you're just a huge fan of the Tomb Raider franchise. You love using the perk Finesse, not only for efficiency, but you also love that they've added a unique vaulting animation for this perk. Trevor Belmont. You're a die-hard Castlevania fan, and Castlevania and DBD is your favorite collab of all time. You also have every single legendary outfit for Trevor. You enjoy using all of them, from Alucard to Simon to Sommer, and of course Trevor himself. You love anything Castlevania, and you play the majority of the Castlevania games in the franchise. Tori. Tori is the newest survivor added to Dead by Daylight, and you think she looks really cool, so she's now your new survivor main. You're hoping that she's not going to end up being one of the survivors that Behavior almost never add new cosmetics for. You're hoping she'll receive just as many outfits as the likes of Sable, Nia, and Dwight. You also love her new perk, Shoulder the Burden, which allows you to transfer a hook state over to your teammates. But that brings us to the end of the video. Let me know which survivor main you guys are, and let me know if I've missed any kind of details on any of these survivor mains. But I appreciate you all watching the video. Hope you all have enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you all in the next one.
Oh my gosh. I love how I added like almost a whole 10 minutes to this video. Actually, I think I did. I added like a whole 11, 12 minutes just by my reaction. Oh boy. I'm sorry guys. I like to comment on reactions. I told you, I like to comment and pause sometimes. Like, because that's the whole point of a reaction though. I mean, like, you don't watch reactions to just watch someone look at a screen and say nothing. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, make sure to check out Nemedi Talks. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you who you main, and are these descriptions accurate? Thank you guys for watching. Want you guys stay safe, stay positive, and remember, be mindful.